All right, all right, all right. If I have set this up correctly and everything is working correctly, we have audio, we have visual, and I have a microphone cable that's going to be following me along everywhere. So let's see how this goes. What's up? Protein alt. So the computer is also very far away for the streaming, so I can't necessarily access it. It looks like I'm peeking, so I want to make sure I'm not peeking. Can confirm existence of audio, visual, and cable. Good, good, good. So that was the only thing I didn't think about, is reading chat. I can't really see chat from here, but that's okay. I'm streaming on my laptop because, as you can tell, my streaming PC and everything is all behind me. Today, I'm going to be doing about 2-3 hours worth of just maintenance on my studio. It's been a long time coming. I got a lot of cables, I got a lot of stuff I got to do, and I figured let's stream it to make content, to talk, to ask questions. I can't really move my laptop though from where it is, so I might have to get another system, another monitor, so that way I can at least read chat maybe. I'll kind of figure that out as it comes. But let's see how it goes right now. Yeah, chat's pretty far away. But it's okay. It's okay. I can't see. Do I see anything else? Because I'm also not streaming on my regular, setup, right? I'm not streaming on my regular setup, so I don't have any of the settings or the scenes. This was just a fly-by-night thing I had to do. I found out how to get my phone, my old phone, connected. So hopefully that looks good. Hopefully it's not too much blurriness. It should be set to 60 hertz refresh rate, but yeah, I have 90 feet of DisplayPort cable, 30 feet apiece. I've got this HDMI cable that is also 30 feet. I've got this USB cable that is an active USB 3.0 that is about 30 feet, 25, 30 feet. I don't really have any desk space for this either, do I? You get to see how wonderfully well my life is planned. And I hope the audio doesn't spike or become too much of an issue from me moving and doing things. I've got a lav mic connected to my shirt. I don't want it to be too loud, but at the same time, I don't want my regular voice to be too quiet. So all these things that we got to move off the desk to make room for things on the desk. But hope everybody's doing okay today. My mouth is very floridy, and I can't eat for about another hour. I'm going to take a lunch break at that point. You hear things, yeah. So that'll be the fun part. We're going to have a lot of wires crunching through the wall to move down. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But for now, it's really just a matter of getting stuff ready and kind of prepping what I need to do. I also need to be careful not to unplug an Ethernet cable that's going there to give me the best bit rate. I want it to, the camera, it's kind of like on me. It's like, okay, I want to zoom and focus, and I get that, but I'd want it not to do that too much. So, but we start, I don't know if you can see all the cabling here, but we just start by unplugging all the wires that are connected on this PC. So you guys also get to see this PC come off the wall live. I'm gonna need to do something about chat, because I'm just gonna keep focusing on I can't see chat. Let's see. I have a monitor. It's just a regular basic power cable. And I need an HDMI, which I'm sure I have plenty of. All right, we're going to make this work. So I get to see chat. So we have the, where's the camera? There. We have that. And we have an HDMI cable. I should be able to plug in HDMI to everything and not have anything break. That's the goal. So, but this is what I'm talking about, though. On the fly. Because I don't know if you know this, Alt, but when you're testing things on stream, you can't see how it's all going to look like. You can't see what chat's going to look like. Oh my goodness, that's a desk in my butt. Gosh. You can't see what everything looks like until you actually go live. All right, let's see here. I heard it make a sound like it connected. Okay, I have. Oh, it's mirroring. That's right, it's mirroring. Okay. Well, if it wants to mirror, I guess that's kind of okay. But I need it to also embigify. But I also want to make my thing smaller. Let's see here. Surely there's a way to do... Oh, well, I'm moving that. I don't want to move that. Let's just lock that so I don't actually move it more. There we go. Well, I decided to plug in with an extremely small power cable, so I kind of don't have a lot of the range that I would prefer, but this should be just fine because it's bigger and I can kind of see from there. So I can't read the chat from where I'm at, but I can at least see if there's chat messages now that I've reconfigured things. So not a big deal. So, all right, back to the computer. I'm sure this is going to be wonderful on the audio, yeah. There's a first ever behind the scenes look of how it is to take the computer off the wall. But there's these little blue cables, essentially, under here. One of them wants to be hidden. All right, there we go. I don't know if these kind of show up. There's these little blue pull tabs. You pull these, and it loosens the mechanism that holds the case on the wall. There we go. Try not to step on the audio cable, if we can. It's okay. It's not like this is in front of a live studio audience. So then the case just should lift right up. And just like that, come right off. Okay. And then I have to remove some cables, so I have to undo some of the cables from the side. You guys can't really see the side there either. You can only see kind of here. Let me move the computer somewhere else so it will be more visually pleasing, possibly. All right. Probably need to straighten all these cables too. All right. That's always fun to do when you're already hungry. Well, we got the power cable that stays. Ethernet cable is going to stay. We have USBs that are going to stay, obviously. I mean, it's pretty much everything is going to stay. Except, well, these two. These two HDMI cables need to go. Then another USB cable, which I think is, yes, is here. This is a blue USB cable, and this is currently running all the way back down the edge of the desk to the overside there of the PC. So I guess I need to make sure that that is also properly unplugged from whatever it's plugged into over here, which I think is a USB hub. Is my butt showing? I have a feeling it is. I don't anticipate it doing that, but I think it is. Ugh. As long as I don't have any underwear to edit out like I did in my PC build video. Alright. There we go. Okay, I'm getting myself all tangled up in this wicked web that we weave. Cool. So this here is a active USB 3 cable, and it pretty much allows it to give power and data longer than the traditional USB 3 cable can be, which is like 9 meters, or maybe 9 feet, I don't know what it was. So, in order to maintain a distance longer than that, you have to have an active cable. And depending on what you're plugging into it, you might also have to have a power adapter, which this one has, but I haven't needed that yet, so I think we'll be okay. I don't know what I'm touching right now. Alright. If this looks like a mess, it's because it is an absolute mess. Because I figured, why just do this when nobody can watch me? You know, why just do this normally? Why not do it and put a camera on me while I do it? Now, first we'll start by taking out the HDMI cables that we don't need, which come all the way down here, which you guys won't really be able to see. Can you see it? A little bit, kind of? Well, let me take you on the journey with me, where I should just be able to do that. There we go. I don't know if you noticed, I wore the shirt to tell me that everything is under control, so that way we're like, you know, more confident in what we're doing. But, all right. Then, see, I'm also not a big fan of using zip ties and wire management stuff out the wazoo, because when you have to undo something, you have to undo all of it, which is okay, because the plan was for this to look nice and be nice, but you're going to hear a lot of Velcro straps being undone because I tethered everything together, and now we're untethering. But once this is over, though, it should be a much nicer studio setup, and then hopefully I'm not moving anything anytime soon. These were some pretty long HDMI cables, though, I do have to say. I need the cable. Let's see. USB, where are the display cables? See, I can't take you over here. I can't take you as far over here as I am. But, oh, you know what? You know what, actually? Let's make something a little bit smarter. And let's unplug all the displays. That way, we don't pull something unnecessarily and break anything. Because I'm trying to not make my job any harder. And you may be wondering to yourself, is he going to really take 3 hours to do this? Oh, you'd be surprised. It's probably going to be longer than 3 hours, actually. Probably by the time I have to finish, I'll be surprised if the computer is back up on the wall. Let's just go ahead and like future insight with that one right there. Oh. Got my big beefy battery backup over here. I'm going to have to vacuum too, golly. Because every chair that I own is like shedding. And are these the HDMI? All right, finally, I found the edge of the HDMI. Okay, we have some cables. Now I don't know if it would be better to pull them up or to pull them down. Probably up. Well, it's got more to come up though than it does to come down. So we will, wait a second. This is two different, wow. I have so many different adapters to these, it's crazy. Not only do I have this adapter that was connected to another adapter to connect it to the displays, this color for this cable is blue, this is black. It tells me that there's another adapter connecting these to somewhere inside the wall. So if I'm not careful when I pull, I might detangle them. So it'll be easier to come out of the top because that's a bigger opening. So we'll just gently, oh boy, it's like, it's meeting with immediate resistance. All right, well, let's see here. I don't want to have to unscrew these either. If I can, I'd love to just be able to route them down, but I'm probably going to have to go get my screwdriver and undo both of these. This is the price of beauty, man. It's always something. Those are sticking. All right, well, let's see. Okay. Nothing wants to move. Well, but I do see an HDMI connection, and my fear of what would happen just happened, but it's okay. So the adapter just came off, which is fine because the adapter is now in the wall connected to one of these things. When I pull it, it should come right out. Okay. All right, that's not bad. So now we know the adapter and where that's at. Throwing things places won't get me nowhere, so I'm just going to make it future me problem by throwing those out the door. Okay, so then this one is meeting with some resistance. I feel like the lock-picking lawyer a little bit. Just with the words and the verbiage that I'm saying. All right, so this one should be right here. And I see the HDMI adapter, which came out, which is good. Okay. Now, unfortunately, though, I definitely know that I will have to undo the bottom hole. Because I can slide those through, but to get them to come out and everything, that's going to have to be definitely undone. And of course, I get a Phillips head screwdriver. What do I need? A flathead. That's fine. I'm sure in my fancy kits here somewhere I've got something. And I do. I have a little electronic screwdriver with a flathead bit. Put that in like so. And then you gently pull this out. You guys probably can't see this in nearly as much detail. But you gotta gently pull that out because it will break some of the clips. And if it breaks the clip, then it can't hold in place correctly. All right. So if you can see a little bit here, you got these little holes. Got to route the 3 cables down here through this hole and then through this little grommet section here. And then that will be the end of that. We'll have the cables where we need them to be. Now we just need to find, no, 4 cables. 4 cables, that's right. No, 5. Wow. Do I know what I'm doing at all? I don't even know if I do. So let's get this kind of like all organized one at a time. And we also have to make sure we put the right end in the right area. Which, this is not the first time I've done this. This is not the 3rd, 2nd, 4th time I've done this. I've done this sort of stuff so many times. And you just get an end of each cable. And I got the HDMI. This HDMI. So we have these 2 HDMI, and then these 3 DisplayPorts. Yeah, that was not a smart idea to just throw them in the ground like that, but that's okay. That's okay. Dang it. Yeah, throw them on top of the microphone cable. Hold on. Sorry about those noises. It will happen again. Right. Clip the lapel mic on there again real quick. What we're going to do, little tip, is we're going to take something to combine all the cables together. So that way when we're pulling the cables through the wall, we're not just going to be pulling one, and if you tighten it enough, they're not going to separate. So that way it's one group of cables. We want to do it a little bit further down the neck here, because they still have to go through this thin thing, and then they also have to go down and out through that thin thing. So you want them to be kind of like malleable in that way. Can I do all of these at once? Or do I have to undo? Why is this one a Phillips and this one down there is a flathead? All right, well. We're going to just make this a little bit easier on ourselves and do both. That's fine. Well, I'm just going to undo this one too, because I think preemptively it'll be easier in the long run versus getting stuck on something. bottom piece here is getting caught on something. There we go. Again, you want to be very careful with these clips, because if you screw too hard and it gets loose or something like that, it will just break off and then you won't be able to hold it securely into place. So, cool, on the inside of the wall again. All right, well then I'm just going to take these, be a little bit more rough with them then. Just kind of shove them. Well, at this point I can actually just do, I can just do one at a time. See that coming through? Oh, now it needs to be up a little bit higher, I guess, doesn't it? I don't know. Oh, well. Does anybody else do this sort of content on YouTube? They probably have to edit it to make it look so pretty. And I'm just like, no. It's going to look like what it looks like. We're going to have what we have. We're going to get what we get and not get upset. But thank anybody who decides to come watch this, past, present, future. Definitely know I'm not going to watch this again. All right, and then pull it. Oh yeah, I can't pull it with this. Too tight. But I'll come around the other side and tighten them up. That way we're good. Okay. We'll put these in the wall. And we're just going to do our best to shove them all down. There we go. And you may be able to see it before me, but you might see some movement down here where my foot's at. When the cables make it all the way down there. Now that I'm feeling resistance, they're probably right about that point. Nope, not yet. All right, I feel them, and they should be able to come right out once I find the lead. Here's my little zip tie dealy. Aha! And voila! 5 cables through the wall, easy peasy. And then, before I route them through the smaller grommet hole here, I'm just going to bring... no, I probably should just route it through. Yeah, I'm going to route it through first. Undo my thing. I feel like there's an art, a skill, so to speak, to people being able to do things while they're being watched. And not just doing things while they're being watched, but to do things well. I don't know if I'm at that part though, but I'm at least doing. And it's about this time that Don realized it would have been nicer if this was a bigger grommet area down here. Okay, and I just have my little power source to my USB. Active, boom. All right. That is now all of those cables successfully through the grommet. But yes, if I do wish that I did make this a double gang instead of a single gang. Wait, why is that cable going over there? Hold on. I want these to all come like parallel to each other, but one cable decided to overlap. Another cable, so I gotta pull it out. And route it back under. But not under the power conduit. Okay. I don't know why that one went so like wonky, but okay. Get all these cables back together, so that way I know I'm only dealing with the cables that I want to deal with and only pulling the 5 cables I want to pull. Because all the other cables are already to length. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what is getting... There we go. I pulled the lapel mic off me again. Apologies. It will happen again. Does anybody have any tech questions? Not questions about life or like, why am I doing this, but tech questions, you know? Like, oh, hey, my computer's running slow. What do I do? Also, that was smart to wear a black shirt while I'm going to be doing a lot of drywall stuff. So I'll have a lot of white all over me. That's fun. But, okay. And I'm just going to tie these together again, and then it'll be pretty fluid. And then, oh gosh. Whew. What I need to do, take all of these 5 cables and feed them through up the system one at a time. So for now, I'm going to just try to lengthen each individual cable, so that way it's not going to just be pulling on itself. And the wire for the other stuff. That's the... Did we lose internet? No, okay, we're still wired. And this was also why I wanted to get sheathed cables, whatever this is called. Sheathed, wrapped, shielded, I guess, is the best term. Because that way they'll be more durable. And if they get snagged on something, you can just pull it without fear of, you know, some sharp thing cutting through any of the shielding. So more shielded, whatever this would be. Whew. All right. Well, that cable is underneath like everything. Something just fell, I think. It's okay, it's fine. That was just my, this isn't plugged into it. Oh, this is, duh. No, it's not. It's not even plugged into it. Okay, that was just my Elgato capture thingy. All right. You know what I did not do is test all of these cables to make sure that they worked. I am trusting that I did not get a faulty cable. Look at this nest. Look at this nonsensical nest. Goodness. But I'm trusting that I didn't get a faulty cable from the vendors. Amazon did not do me dirty. And we will get display without any problems. Now, how can I... What cable even is this? That's my lapel. Okay. But it's a lot easier to pull straight cables through the wall than it is not. So what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. How we doing? 11:36. All right, 30 more minutes until I can get some food. I'll probably take about a 30-minute break, get some egg sandwiches, kind of go from there. So, but at least with this, if I can start to pull these down though, because we already have it through. And the goal is when I hit a little bit of resistance, like what I just hit, I come back down here and then I start pulling the cables through this way. And since I know the 5 cables specifically that I'm pulling, when I grab those in not pairs, quads, quints, I can just pull it down. Oh. Phew. You ever just do things in life and you're like, why am I doing this? But it's cool though, you know, for me, I think it's a neat way for you guys to see a different side of content creators that you might not always get to see. The stuff, you know? The behind the scenes. I know a lot of people probably do like behind the scenes videos because content is content, you know? All right, getting some more resistance, so now I need to pull from the bottom. But oh, that's a nice quick pull there. How did it? Cables got intertwined. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's a little like unnecessary because it's just going to try to pull something else now. It's okay. One, two, three, four, five. All right, don't pull the Cat 5 through the wall. Now the wires are getting all sorts of messed up, but that's okay. It's A-okay, because we are almost done. We just need a little bit of slack at the end here, so that way we can obviously plug everything into the PC, but we don't have to worry about how long it is on this side. We only need to worry about how long it is on this side, which is why we bought 30 stinking feet of these cables. So I didn't have to do the math and think about it. There's probably some sort of like, what, snake thing or something you can get. You can just connect all the wires to and it just feeds them right down automatically. How is there one that's like so much shorter than the others? I've been doing like all of them at the same time. The lapel mic fell again. It will happen again. Okay. Now, 1, 2, 3. Wait, one of these is not right. Okay, we might be. Singularly pulling some now. All right, we are almost at the end here. It is hitting with some resistance though. More than I thought should be there. Excuse me. That's that one. Okay, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm just pulling the wires. Okay. Which isn't too bad. That's kind of what I want to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, Okay, 5. 5 is up there. I was like, no, don't tell me we lost a wire. Okay. All right. Channel my inner Matthew McConaughey. How does that even possibly happen? A cable did a thing that I don't even remotely understand how it happened. It went like in between an Ethernet cable that I got to unplug, which is probably going to affect the stream. That's okay. That's future me problem in a few minutes. Not me problem right now. It's okay. Or maybe I can just like route it the long way around. All right. So we don't need a lot of cable length, but we need enough where we can pull through and get through. So before we get everything kind of like all set up a little bit better, we want to also make sure that we have all the cables that we need sticking out. Because if we don't, then it's all for nothing. So we got 3 USBs, a Ethernet, a audio out, or in, I guess, and then the 5 cables, the 4 display cables and the 1 additional USB cable. So they're all sticking out. The single USB 3 is pretty good on length. These are naturally going to get pulled down a little bit more because they're being pulled with the other cables, but they didn't go through, and that's the important part. And you want there to be a little bit of slack in the cables as well. You don't want it to be so tight that you can barely plug it in. But this right here seems like a pretty good length for everything, because it'll come out to the side and it should be pretty good, and we can pull if necessary, and then we can always hide it behind the computer when we're back in there. So that should be enough on this side then, where we can just kind of put this back in place, use our screwdriver, and hold it back in place. This is easier to do with the drill. And that'll give you a little bit of resistance, and then you stop, because again, you go too far and you can break the clip. Not like I've been there before. Okay, a little bit of resistance, and then you can see I've got a little bit of wiggle at the top, so I just try to tighten that a little bit more, making noise but no wiggle on the top there. So that's good. That's exactly what you want. Whew. And that should be enough cable length for everything that we need, but we can pull more stuff up as we need it. So we probably want to put the computer back on the wall first before we tighten everything up at the bottom. But my concern with doing that is smacking my head, which is an understandable concern. But I don't think there's any other thing that we need to do up here. So now we just need to kind of see the cable length. Now this is the, okay, well that just moved right out. Oh, it wasn't fully secured up there. Okay, never mind. Oh, it didn't get fully secured, that's why. All right, got it. I remember this one. All right, did it? All right. What? So this is the tricky fun part. You have all these cables over here, but you have this mounting bracket right here. You need to put the computer case on the mounting bracket. When all the cables are in the way, it makes it challenging. So you need to hoist everything out of the way and then hope for the best. All right, and we got the nice big old computer here. And then we just need to get these little, actually you want both these to be open like that, so that way when you put it on, it'll clip and you'll hear like the clip and you'll know that it's on. So if I lead it in a little bit to the right and then shift it over, we should be just fine. Whew. All right. The last thing I want to do is unplug my lav mic again. Nope. Okay. I'm offshooting quite a bit there. And that also showed me that the thing that I thought was tight still isn't tight. All right, now I'm pretty sure it's tight. Not straight though. All right. In the face of adversity is when you become a man. Now why? So I'm just not clipping it. I'm missing these little sections completely when I'm going up, which is going to be higher than about where my ribs are at. So I think I need to go much higher. Is that it? I think it clipped in. Whoa. Nope. It did not clip in. Okay. I think it clipped in. Nope. I think it's the cables that are getting in the way. Okay. Now we should be in. Maybe only halfway. I really don't want to let go of the computer though. Okay, I am pretty sure Oh, it's on now. Anything to stand on. It would be more. I lost the lav mic. I had a feeling I would lose this. It's okay. Better that than the computer. So. Ugh. All right. We are secured. Let's not try to break anything else in the meantime. So yeah, it was just the that giant group of cables was getting in the way, preventing me from securing in the way that I needed to secure in. So that was almost a complete and utter disaster. Hopefully that showed up cool on camera though. The reflexes of me grabbing the computer just as it was about to fall, that is something worthwhile to make content for. So, whew, I'll probably end up moving the camera after lunch. I'll move the camera more to the side over here so you guys can kind of see what I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to have to do a lot of wire management stuff on the side over there. But, whew. All right, now let's just go ahead and put up a BRB screen. Oh, let's see here. This is like some elevator music or something. Where's text? Let's see here. There you go, that's fine. That shows what I'm doing. So that took us how long? How long have we been live? An hour to do that. So a whole hour. All right. BRB. I'm gonna go get some egg sandwiches. I probably won't eat them in here, so that way we can keep the stream going. Yeah, yeah. we go, here we go, here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Get the microphone back up under my shirt, off camera. I feel like it's the modest thing to do. And we're back. Okay, well, that was a good lunch. Some of my cheese got mixed with the Chipotle cheese, so it was a little bit hotter than I was anticipating. But I'm okay. I'm good. So we had a nice lunch, and now we are ready. I've got about another hour and a half worth of stream to my name today before other things take scheduling precedence. So I'm thinking that we're just going to get everything wired up here, get that all wired, get this all kind of set up and nice and neat, then start moving the wiring down. I'll bring the camera, bring you guys down with me so I can talk and do all that sort of stuff at that time, so you're not just seeing this. And we'll kind of go from there. Maybe I can start, no, hold on. I don't have an extremely long amount of cable, so I'm not going to move anything yet. Because I don't want to break anything just yet. But what you can envision me doing now is just plugging in all these cables, right? Oh, you know what would have been fun? This is what I should have done. What I should have done is marked which one of these HDMI cables and display cables was what. So that way when I plug it in, I'll know which one is going to which. That'd be a smart, fun little conceptual thing to do there, but that's okay. This is the Dontech. This isn't not the Dontech, so need a little bit more cable here for some things. So I just want it to be as nice, as neat as I possibly can. And you want to know what also doesn't make any sense, and what's going to be a little annoying in the future, I have some USB 2.0 connections to some USB 3.0 connections. I was like, why? And I can always wire this up to make it even nicer later on. But now I just want to make sure that we've got the length we need for everything. So it's easier to pull it now. Like this audio cable is definitely on the shorter side. There we go. Just need a little bit more slack there. All right, and then I know we've got, HDMI, and right now just 3 DisplayPorts. At this point, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't really matter what goes into what anymore, because you can easily adjust in Windows what you need to do. And you can move monitors so much easier in Windows 10 than you could in 7 and XP. What I would like these to do, though, I want them to be pretty taut, I want them to be pretty solidified. This cable, yep. But at the end of the day, when you've got 50 cables, you just have 50 cables, There's only so much you can do to make that look nicer. Like, I've got this longer power cable here. I could make that look a little bit better. Maybe shorten the cable length up a little bit, but I think that's pretty good right there. I can almost do a power on test to see if it works. No, I can't because I don't have anything connected. I just have it connected here, but I don't have it connected there. So I would turn it on. Woo, it's turning on, but that would be the extent of it. So not yet there. All right, let's see here. How I can move, excuse me, some things to make it nice and neat. Oh, I was like, what? Okay, well, before I do that, you still can't see me over here. I have some additional HDMI cables that I need to pull out. These are just little extension dealies. I guess I can move the camera a little bit this way. These little extension cables, and everything that we don't need, like I said, is just going to be thrown out of the room. At least the things that I know for sure that I won't need. And this is still a whole other hodgepodge mess over here. Like, this is just getting the cables to where they need to be, and then I still need to make them look nicer and function nicer and be nicer. This is just quite literally let's get them where they need to be, and then everything will be nicer after that point. And then I got to deal with all the lights that I have, properly making sure everything is marked. Because it is quite nice to have this entire mess of cables, but then know, okay, this goes to this, this goes to this, this goes to this. I have all those USB cables. Yeah, that needs to stay. So I have USB cables. All I'm doing is I'm adding. I didn't remove anything on the USB cable side. All right. That is good enough there. So let's try to move the camera and see what else may or may not break. Also, kudos to my laptop, though, for handling this just fine. Like, I'm pretty impressed with the laptop's ability. This is just like an HP Spectre laptop. It's doing a pretty good job. Okay, we're free from those cables. And this is about as good as I think we can get it. It's just like that, yeah? So this is where I'm going to be hanging out. How does it look if I'm here? Is that too... I'm going to be like over here. Too far away? Let me lower the camera down. That might help. There we go. Is that any better? Might be a little bit nicer. More cozy, more comfortable with me down on the floor with my the mess I've made of myself. Oh, goodness gracious. But I don't think we need to... Well, we have a little bit... We have a lot of slack still on that cable. So if we'd rather have all the slack out here, so just pull until we, don't run into any more resistance. On those cables, so I got those display cables. I do have this cable right here, though, that's a little annoying. It is going between Ethernet, so I need to try to pull this one out. Get it go back that away. Okay. That way nothing else is intermingled and intertwined. What is this cable though that I'm touching? This is that's a USB cable. Okay, that is separate from these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cables that I have. So just give final tug on them, and then we are good to go. Okay. I got a whole bunch of white on these cables. Maybe that wasn't smart for the sheathing to have all that white. I don't know. From the drywall. So. And then we just shove this back in there. We got all the cables, and we get our screwdriver, which is right here. Wow. Wow, okay. That's not a strong enough screwdriver. Hold on. I think it's like up. All right, oh. Fun, 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 fun. Okay, I have things everywhere. Oh, let's get some space. All right. Should do the trick. That's why it's preferred to have a drill, though, with this, because, you know, you don't have to rotate it 30,000 times. Am I going the right way? That snapped off. Are you? Oh, no, that snapped off. All right. Okay. That's why it was doing what it was doing, because it had snapped off. But now we may be okay. Nope. Doesn't want to do what it needs to do. These things are so janky. They are meant for like a one-time setup. And that's like it. Okay. See how the other one's doing. They're not doing the clip-on thing that they need to do. You know what would be unfun? Is having to replace all this, but it's not lifting upward. I don't know if you can see on the screen there, when you twist the screwdriver, it's supposed to twist it and then lock it into place. But what's not happening is that mechanism. It's not going up like that. And that might be because I've lost too much of the plastic capability here, and it's not going to be strong enough to twist itself back up as it needs to, which means I need to replace it. Or I can figure it out and have less hassle in my life. That would be nice. No. 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 This is why the metal ones are a lot nicer than the plastic ones, because they don't break like this. But we can finagle it, at least down there. I might need to undo it so I can finagle it at the bottom too. Alright, I think I might have figured out a way to get it, which saves us time, hassle, and money. That might not get us what we need to get because it just kind of pushed it in. We'll see. Okay. We're set. I'm sure that was a lot of fun just seeing me like hunched over like that, yeah? But now you see all those wires. Wow. That is phase number 2. Let's get all that stuff moved on down. So this is USB. Got all these 5 cables here. That's USB. And I should have 3 USBs coming down, right? I should have 4 USBs coming down. Ugh. Yes. There should be 4 USBs coming down. One of these, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool, got it. I just want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row and I have everything first before I start doing things. Now, some of these cables, though, I can't really do much with until I can go offline. Excuse me. Because these cables are connected with this daggone, this thing right here. This is the power to the Ethernet. And the Ethernet is what is currently powering the laptop for my internet. And this right here is getting in the way of all of it. So if I disconnect that, it will disconnect the live stream, and then it will turn this VOD into 2 different VODs. I don't want that. I'd rather much just have one single VOD and then deal with this after stream than not. But the only cables I have to deal with are the 3 pre-existing USB cables. So everything else we've done, we can kind of still work with a little bit. Let me get this lamp out of the way here. I still also have to do the vacuum and run all that stuff, but that'll be afterwards as well. So, oh, we got power as well. Power for the computer. That's important that that gets plugged in. And that, yeah, it's fine. So that all these go down, and we should have ample amount of space. Whew. To do the cabling that we need to do. I'm sure there's a much easier way to do this. Trying to go for one nicer stream of cables here. And unfortunately, this isn't even really like a technological upgrade. This is just cosmetic. I was like, oh, okay. It's not like I get better internet doing this, or get more frames. Nope, nope, nope. Just to give me some extra long cables. But the live streams next week should be pretty fun. I'm not streaming on Monday because that is Labor Day, and I won't have the ability to stream on that day. But next Thursday, I should, well, okay, I'm pulling from the wrong end here. Next Thursday, I should be able to go live. I think I can do this on the floor now. What's up? Next Thursday, I'm going to be able to go live, and I plan on doing a video based on the video that's going live on the channel on Tuesday. So that should be a really fun, good time. I don't know how all these cables got this mangled. You saw me pull them down and just, you know, doing everything the way that they should be. It's like kind of when you're dealing with a hose and it just gets all like kinked up and everything. It's like, what are you doing? You ever get that World of Warcraft itch though? That's something I thought of doing sometimes. It's like, hey, let's stream World of Warcraft. That could be kind of fun. But I feel like doing these things are much more beneficial to the channel because I get to also be productive. These are business expenses. I just realized. All of these are business expenses. All these cables. All these things. We've almost got the straight cables. We're almost there. Oh, and then also next Friday, I think it's next Friday, September the 5th, I will be going against somebody in Super Smash Brothers. To celebrate, he says he's celebrating like his X year stream anniversary, but it's really celebrating me. He just doesn't want to say it, but we're going to be going live, and we're going to, well, I'm not going to be going live, but I'm going to be fighting him in Smash. We're going to be doing a 1st to 10 Smash match. And whoever wins the first 10 gets a lot of money. $500. So I am going to get $500 on Friday. That'll be kind of cool. I don't know what I'll do with it yet. I think there's some food over here. I don't know. I did vacuum in here recently. Like when I did this kind of configuration change, I did vacuum. But I'm seeing some food. It's like a chip of something. Or it's a really, really old piece of cheese. But I kind of need to vacuum before I really move anything else over here, so that way I can kind of get this stuff cleaned up. So I'm going to go get a vacuum, get these things cleaned up. Oh, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Oh boy. I'm gonna mute. I gotta open the door, and the the camera's in front of the door. All right. Gonna do that. I'm gonna get a vacuum, and I'm gonna mute the microphone while I vacuum, so that way you guys don't hear it. This should mute it when I just unplug it, probably. But I don't want to do that, though. And mute. All right, so we should be back live now with the audio. Got the vacuuming all out of the way. Move this back to down over there somewhere, I suppose. And I don't even know. Oh, I need to get out of my closet real quick. I have a ton of different zip ties and cable ties and other cable management things that really help a lot. Oh. Yeah, a lot of these things. These actually come from, gosh, like maybe Corsair. Yeah, oh, well, duh, like maybe Corsair. I was trying to think of the actual thing that they come from. Oh, it's Share. Oh, that's nice. These come from like Corsair power supplies and things like that. And they're just these great little Velcro zip ties. And I really like using them because they can easily snap around each other. And it helps keep everything nice and tidy. But yeah, but can I do what I want to do though? How I am. I might not be able to do it. How I am. Because I did want to take care of that Ethernet thing. Oh, actually, it'll be fine. I can do it all. It'll just be after the stream. I unplug that cable. Yeah, that'll be just fine. Just peachy. Just peachy. So all I'm going to do is just kind of make sure I have all the wires that I need. Group them all together. Get one of these doohickeys. And just condense all the cables together. And when you do it this way, though, you're going to need a lot of these things. And I've also got additional sort of like Velcro self-adhering sort of things. Doesn't really matter what you use. And then where'd they go? Did this show a before? This would be really nice if it showed like a before and then we can see an after, like, wow, yeah, he did such a good job. I know I'll show my wife later, show my kid later. They'll be like, yeah, what'd you do? I'll be like, no, you guys don't understand how crazy it was. I'll be like, no, yeah, we know how bad it was. Yeah, sure, Don, yeah. No, they are very, very supportive. Just for their benefit, they're not as neurotic as I am. So about every, foot or so, I'm just adding another one of these zip tie cable ties. That'll keep everything tight and taut. And then we just have one thick cable that comes along the back here that nobody will ever see unless you watch my live stream. Then we're coming here, and this is where we have our 3 USB connections that were already plugged in to the system previously. So with these, you just want to make sure you don't have too much pull on them, because you don't want to, you don't want them to be undone or anything like that. you know, when you're doing this wire management, you don't want them to be, like, they're so tight, you just move a little bit and then boom, everything comes undone, because then that defeats the purpose, and everything being all nice and neat, because it doesn't work. I thought I had a lot more of these than I do. I might have some more in the closet somewhere. Then we're getting into this corner side here, this corner pocket, if you would. I already have a bit of zip tie already attached to the USB cables, so I should just be able to round up my USB, come back in the corner, and pull it as tight as you can. Get it all nice and tight as you can. I hope that looks as impressive for you guys as it feels like it looks for me, because it feels good. Now, I need a knife, because I have a electrical cable warning tag to cut, and there we go, and cut. So just a little danger: electrical cords can be hazardous, misuse can result in fire, death, or electrical shock. Please read both sides carefully. So pretty much don't use it outdoors, don't chew on it, don't eat it, yada yada, it'll be fine. So it's just going to get in the way of my beauty aesthetics, so it needs to get out of here. The power cord is pretty ugly back here, I gotta say. Like that, just that white, odd, scraggly power cord. Am I visible anymore? Now, I know what you're all are thinking. You're all like, wow, Don, that looks like you have a lot of cable left over. And it is. It is. It's a lot of cable that I've left over, for sure. That's okay. We're maybe about the halfway mark. And then everything is just going to be going down this way. And we also want to make sure that we have enough slack, though, so that way when it connects to the displays, it's not like pulling the monitors because it's such a tight fit. That was the plan, and that's why I thought 30 feet would be okay. I did not really measure I mean, I did measure, but I didn't like really like measure, you know? I just kind of like measured roughly about from the wall down, and then here down, and then like there up. I was like, okay, that's roughly what we need. I probably could get away with 25 feet, but I gave myself that extra 5 feet to just be really on the up and up. Oh, I feel like we need to move the camera before I do the next steps because it's not going to be anything. It's just going to be my backside. Let's see. Oh. And time check. Okay, cool. 1:10. I'm good. I have another 50 minutes left to stream. Oh no, I gotta be careful where I move this. That's right, because the way it's connected to the camera and the laptop. Yep, that's right. So I kind of have to be careful. How's well, so that's why I gotta be careful and I step on it. That's good. How's this? Is that good? That's about where I'm gonna be. So that might be okay. Oh. Oh boy. How is the cables are all like, hey guys, we're all twisted up and everything again. Don't you love it? I just need to have more length, and then I will have. There we go. You know what I realized? If you say "there we go" a lot like that, like "all right, cool, got it," you say positive words like that, you trick yourself into thinking that everything is going okay. And you tell yourself, oh yeah, everything's going just fine. You kind of like fool yourself, you know? Reverse psychology. Only in actuality, couldn't be further from the truth. All right, and another zippy tie thing here. I'm gonna move underneath this table. Ugh. Hey guys. I don't want anything besides some of these USB cables though to be too excuse me, managed though, because I have a lot of other things that need to be done around here. A lot of, you know, power that you can see. You know, all those other cables also still kind of need to be taken into account. So I don't want this to be like, okay, hey, this is where everything is going, this is perfect, because it's really not. Can I unplug this? I don't know. I mean, I guess I can. That's just my USB hub. Yeah. Wait, is it? Wait. Yeah, okay. That kind of needs to be on the battery backup anyway. This little thingy, where are we at? Are we showing things? This little thing, this USB Vantech 7-port USB 3.0 hub, I bought this so many years ago, never used it, finally using it, and am I so happy that I actually have it. It's amazing. I'm like, what are these cables? These are probably monitors. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you need to get everything labeled so you know what everything is. Unplug them and get them out of the way. I'm sure it's fine. Get that out of the way. And then we got keyboard, one spare USB. So, and then what I got to do is move all of these cables down out over here. Just trying to keep the main 5, you know, just trying to keep the main 5 in check. That might be loud for y'all, and I apologize, but let me tell you, it's also loud for me too. Whew. Okay. That gets all these cables over here. I need another zip tie thing. All right. How's that looking? How is everything? Is it good? Whew. All right, now I gotta try to get out without. Oh, I gotta go the other way. Oh, I can't really get out that way. All right. Phew. So I want to tell you that YouTube is glamorous. Ooh, yeah. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. All right, so we got this nice little key light. Put that somewhere. If you hear any crashes, it was intentional. Yeah. Was that another monitor? Man, there's so many things need power. Like I have like 3 power cables here, 4 power cables, plus any of the other lights. Crazy. Just disconnect and move what I can. And I know I don't need. Move that out of the way. And then when I'm trying to move the Magnificent 5, I'll be okay. When do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. These 5 cables should really start behaving a little bit better now. There's not as much to them. Why does it feel like the USB 3 has so... Oh, you know what? The USB 3, this little extender boy is 25 feet. That's right. Or 27 or something like that. I forget what the exact footage was. So that's a little bit less than where everything else was at, which is okay. Because that one doesn't need to go up as far. Doesn't need to connect any monitors. It just connects down at the bottom here, pretty much where the end of the line is. So it's not all that bad. So, all right, all these cables here are what we have left. And wow, yeah, oh gosh, we have a lot more feet, easily 5 more feet than what we need. So I need to do, well, that's not too bad though, because that allows me to condense these cables up. Make them a lot smaller. And then I can just kind of deal with them as I need to. They're not a requirement to be that certain length. So All right, that's not too bad. This is a little like clump of cables right here. This is what we got left. What is this connection? Goodness gracious. So let's see how that how looks like that. So we have all of this that's connected. This is all that we pulled through the wall, and this is what's left. So next is just getting them to each respective monitor, and then to each respective monitor, and then the USB, and then everything else should be nice and neat from there. So, but I'm pretty much done with that process for now. That was a, excuse me, quite a bit. Next is just a lot of miscellaneous moving the wires and everything. So I think, even though this was probably pretty boring for stream, I think that the next steps would be even more boring for stream. But not bad. This is a nice in-depth behind the look of how the Dontex Studio looks. I don't know how I got what I gotten. There we go, almost. All right. Not bad at all. Let me, can I raise this? Yeah, let's go a little bit higher now. We can kind of go through the work and see what we've done and see where we've come. So we can look at this in the past at the beginning of the stream and be like, wow, this is what we were at. And then look at the end and be like, whoa, look at what we've done. So over here, I need to make that a little bit more taut and everything. But, hold on, it's not wanting to. There we go. Look at that. Nice, straight, streamlined thing of cables that will be more against the wall. I'll use some anchor screw hooks if I need to really hold them in place. Just like some S hooks that go into the baseboard of the wall. Or something else, I don't know, maybe not those. But going all nice and neat. The computer itself, oh boy, that's really turning it. I've got the cable situation all bad right now. Hold on. There we go. That's even worse. So you can see the computer's back up on the wall. I gotta obviously make that power connection tighter. But everything else is nice and fluid, as you can see. So, and that will never be on stream, so it doesn't really matter because I film this side now. But, and then some stuff of where the magic happens too. You know, I got all this. Oh boy. Here, that's where I sit, my nice little seat. And next time I go live, I probably won't need to do it with this, which is nice. I can do it with my actual, you know, computer and be able to do everything that way. But I did find a way to connect my phone. This has all been with my old S23 Plus. No, S10, 11 Plus. I don't know what I had, but it's my old phone that I've been doing a webcam with. And I think it looks a lot better than it did previously because I have it connected via USB instead of Wi-Fi. I think that's pretty great. If you can connect it USB, like shoot, they have a watermark that shows at the top of it, so I can pay to get rid of that. And I probably will pay to get rid of it so I can use it without any problems. But I really do enjoy it. I think the quality's been really nice. But we got everything here: microphone, Stream Deck, XLR, cameras, lights everywhere. I need some water. That's what I need to get. I'm gonna go get some water, y'all. Yeah, BRB while I get some water. Where's the mic? There it is. I'm also sure the audio on this is just probably some of the worst that I've ever created. But that's okay. So now there's just a little bit of cleanup processes. This useless, pretty much useless screwdriver, once you give it any sort of torque, it's like, I can't do it anymore. It's cute in theory, but that's really about it. Did I have any more? I have all these little containers. Yeah, I have more of these Corsair little doohickey things. Tell you, any manufacturers out there listening, that's a way to set yourself apart. Good accessories. Because if you have some of those good accessories, they're going to be used beyond just whatever the build's purpose was. I'll take out all that trash. But I do have to say, I finished up a little bit sooner than I thought I would. I gotta get some glass cleaner and clean up my computer case though, for sure. Because that's definitely on the fingerprinty side. Probably clean up the monitors and all that good stuff. I also don't think I need these anymore. I bought these little, I think they were DVI to HDMI adapters. But now that I have gotten rid of those, I don't think I need these anymore. I don't have any other HDMI to connect, because my computer, I'm using all 4 ports now. 3 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI. I do have a USB-C, but this is besides the point because that's not what this is for. So, have to see. I might be able to return one of those. Let me see if I can go back and get a nice wide shot of the room. There we go. Now you can see the room in its entirety. For the most part, you can't see over there or behind you, which is fine. But this room has so much potential. That's what I like. That's why I want this section over here to be as clean and concise as possible, so I don't have to worry about it when I want to record or when I want to stream. I just press buttons and I go. And then that gives me this whole section over here behind that you guys can't see for anything else in the studio to do. Either different shots, different, like I could have a B-roll station set up or something like that. That could look pretty good. It's just nice to be where we're at on YouTube, finally. A little bit set with a better structure, better motions, better mechanisms, better everything just kind of in place. But there's definitely a lot of optimization that can be done with a lot of the cables and power connections and getting the exact length of things that you need. All that stuff is definitely, you know, like it makes it a passion project from just regular. You know, I mean, can you imagine right now being a faceless streamer where you don't have to show any of this stuff? Oh man, how easy that would be. I enjoy it though. So that looks a lot nicer though. I'm really happy that I did that, because before this I had cables hanging down here going across the side, and this is what it's going to be, only better, because once we get it all fixed down there, it's going to look the same over there as it does everywhere else in the room, where you just can't tell that there's wires anywhere. It's going to be just cohesive. Am I talking to fill time? Yes, I am. Am I kind of done with things to do? Yes, I am. What time is it now? 1:30. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I'd love to make it 3 hours if I can, but I got to find things to do. PC maintenance. That's not too bad. I can show you 30 minutes of what I do if I can. There we go. That's a great glare on there, isn't it? What do you need for some of this PC maintenance? Perfect. I'd like a clean one. I need to get one clean microfiber cloth. Let's do this back under the shirt. How's that? Good? Good. Looks like a good, like, I don't know, intro, thumbnail, who knows what it would be like. That glare I don't like though, so we're gonna get rid of that in a second. But you may be wondering to yourself, how do you clean your computer? Well, I'm gonna show you how I clean my computer when I haven't cleaned my computer in a long time. For starters, make sure you turn the power off. You can either unplug it, or if it's mounted on a wall like mine, leave it as it is. I'm going to turn this power switch on the back here from I to on to O to off. That will turn it completely off. First, I'm going to take all the glass pieces and other accessory pieces off of the unit, and then I'll clean those after I put them back on. What I've got here is a nice Leon Lee O11 case. If you're curious about how this got wall mounted, you know I got a video for it. Okay, there we go. Glare is nice and gone now. So traditionally what you can do is if you have some compressed air, you just kind of blow out some of the ports and everything like that. We don't have any compressed air. Well, we do. We don't need any though. we don't have any compressed air. That's okay. This system isn't really all that dirty. This is just kind of a fingerprint smudgy cosmetic one for me. But I'm just taking a microfiber cloth. It's going to wipe down some of the metal on the inside and the fans. It's not really that dirty of a system overall. But if you had compressed air, what you would do is you'd use the compressed air on all the fans and everything like that. There's no reason when you're cleaning your system to unplug everything, to take anything out, unless your system is so beyond filthy, but then you're at a whole different level of, you know, pain at that problem, at that time. So just going to get a little bit on the graphics card here as well, because that's got a little bit of dust on it. And that's pretty much all we need to do on the inside there. There are little dust filters on some cases you can take out. This one has no dust really on the filter. Just give it a little wipe down if you would. And that goes right back in. And this system doesn't have a lot. I do have this glass panel here that I can remove. And when it is removed, that's when we would use something like this Sprayway glass cleaner. This is a foaming action non-ammonia. It's a great cleaner to use. If I sprayed inside my computer, ignore that. No, nothing went inside. Be more careful than I would be in that situation. And then just in a, you know, circular motion, we're just cleaning the inside of this glass here. So it keeps it nice and neat looking. And then touching the edges as to not get any more fingerprints on it. That will allow us to put this back into place. You can always do more surface cleaning on the outside here if you need to with some of this sort of glass cleaner, but with this case it's really not necessary. It looks pretty good the way that it is. But just kind of anywhere that you'd see some dust, you know, you can kind of rub down a little bit there. But being careful not to really touch the motherboard, the underside of the graphics card, expose things, you know, the RAM, moving the RAM, unplugging the RAM. There's no need for that in any capacity. Get the outside over here. If you're wondering why the quality of this is so odd and why it seems so weird, it's because I'm currently live on youtube.com/thedantech, where I completely demolished my setup by taking everything off the wall, rehanging everything up, and did it all live when then I decided to clean my computer to show you guys. So that's why you're getting what you're getting right now. So everything there looks pretty good. That'll be a great point for a cut right there. This stupid lav mic, that's what I don't like. I don't like the cable for it. And then I'm just going to take the microfiber cloth, spray a little bit of the cleaner on it, and then I'm going to carefully clean the front of the glass that we put on. When the glass is back on the computer, you want to be careful not to spray it, because it can just go inside and become a problem. So that should be kind of expected. Then I've got my big piece of tempered glass. Do the same thing there, where I just kind of spray it. Almost a smiley face, that's kind of fun. And then we're just cleaning the inside. This will get any of the dust, residual fingerprints, or anything that's on it. Okay. Nice and clean. I'm resting it against my shirt while I'm holding the bottom of it with my hand, but not using my fingerprints to not put, you know, fingerprints on there. And then you just take it, line it back into place, boom. If you got any fingerprints on that, that is fine. Microfiber and the spray, and then just gently, again, wiping the outside down to give you that nice sheen, nice clean way that things look. Okay, pretty good, looking pretty good. All right, I like it. And then we have the top metal piece as well. Kind of the same thing. Spray your microfiber cloth and just wipe that down a little bit. This doesn't have as many concerns for fingerprints, even though it is steel. At least I haven't had those problems. And then right back into place, screw it back on, and you're good to go. And that is how the Don cleans his system every now and again when he needs to. I don't know if I've cleaned this. I've maybe cleaned it twice since I've wall mounted it. So however long this system has been wall mounted, I've only had to clean it twice. Now, while I don't currently have an air filter in this room, I wouldn't be opposed to getting one. It would make it kind of nice. But this room doesn't really get all that dusty, and it only gets used really when I'm in here doing video edits and the like. So, oh, look at the cable. We wonder why the lav mic's been coming off me so many times. But, okay, well that ate up. How much time did I eat on that one? 10 whole minutes, give or take. 10 whole minutes. I'm standing around thinking what to do because I don't know what to do. I cleaned the computer. That was nice. I can't wait to use this though. I think I got some videos rendered, but I have a lot of stuff to edit for sure. But I think that's about it for now. I don't think there's really much of anything else to do for today's stream. I accomplished everything I wanted to get accomplished. Otherwise, all I'm doing is wasting my time and wasting y'all's time. So now just for the trash and everything else. So thank you guys for joining on this stream this time here. Again, I will not be back live on Monday because that will be Labor Day, but I will be live again the Thursday afterwards. Any time that you watch this video, I always appreciate it because I get continued watch hours. And right now, the primary focus on this YouTube channel is growth, healthy, natural growth, and going for monetization by getting the 4,000 watch hours needed. We are getting to the end of the finish line with that. I'm really, really excited for it. I don't know if I'm going to be posting the stats of it just yet, but we're getting there. So I'm really excited about that. But thank you again. Everybody that watches this video in the past, present, and future. If you have any questions, you know what to do. I am literally everywhere on the internet at the Don Tech, and if anybody else has that name, don't worry, I'll be getting a copyright on it soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I need to go over there to end it because I can't end it without walking over to it. So I'll wait. Remember, the Don's got your back. Oh yeah, that looked really cool. Yeah.